The spectacular setting of Spa-Francorchamps was living up to its reputation for having unpredictable weather. After sunshine had been forecast, drivers were greeted by a damp circuit on Friday morning. Vettel was among the first to try out the slick tyres and was due to go top of the timings until he reached the final chicane.
He's really tiptoeing around, he's not even touching the throttle and he's gently pulling it in. He's lost easily 3 seconds round that particular part, but he does go second, half a second in fact away from Jenson Button's time, so it's close.
Yeah, it is close. That was... Whoa, has he spun it? Well, does that count as a spin? Not quite. I think he just about held that.
Fernando Alonso was the man who ultimately set the fastest time in his Ferrari when the track was at its driest. But more rain at the end of the session prevented any further improvements. And with cars 7 or 8 seconds off their ultimate pace, it's hard to read which teams have really got to grips with one of Formula One's most legendary circuits. After a damp morning, the sun was out at Spa for practice 2. Ferrari's Felipe Massa was 4th fastest, but the Brazilian wasn't happy with his handling.
Okay, so the car is completely over here, everywhere.
It was Red Bull's session. Vettel and Webber dominating the timings, ahead of Massa, Grosjean and Sean-Eric Verne, an impressive 5th for Toro Rosso, though Mercedes may well have been keeping something in reserve for the remainder of the weekend.
Hey the guys, Aarava here and bringing you my F1 2013 100% race ultra modded career mode, and we're here back again in the Williams at Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. And looking through our setup quickly, there's the gearbox as usual, fixed gear ratios like the 2014 Formula 1 season. Not played the Joker yet. I'm starting to think I might not play it even this season. We don't really need to play the Joker. It's a good gear ratio set, but as you can see, I'm going to the prime tyre. We're starting last as usual, but Sebastian Vettel is on pole, Fernando Alonso second. They're our rivals in the championship, and we need to try and beat them this race. We need to try and get a win, get a good points haul. 16% chance of rain, so this race is looking like an absolute stunner. We need to make it a good one. So let's get onto the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we are, we're ready for the Belgian Grand Prix, going to 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix, 44 laps to go, and we're off, and we're going to have to make sure we get a clean start going to the first corner and not lop off our front wing. Obviously, we've got the realistic damage mod on, so it's very easy for the cars to get some damage now with this mod. So getting very close to the Marussia there, but just about managed to get through them. And now we've got plenty of curves to use up towards Rouge, and then on the Kemmel Straight. Saving quite a lot for that Kemmel Straight, as we can try and pick off a few of these AI. Going up Rouge, typically AI not very good through Rouge and the Kemmel Straight, so we'll use that to our advantage, using all the curves, powering past the Toro Rosso there of Verne, now past Ricciardo and Gutierrez, and maybe Di Resta, and maybe Perez, and maybe Maldonado. Let's see. No, not able to get Maldonado, but past Perez indeed, and we are up behind my teammate now, and in a very good position of 12th. Can we maybe get Maldonado down to this next section, the hairpin? It's a really understeery section, but locking up hugely, overtaking Felipe Massa just about, but yep, just about got it. Very easy to lock up in that corner, as obviously you want to turn as early as possible, but obviously when you start turning and braking, you're going to lock up the front tyre. So very easy to lock up, but we managed to get the move done on Massa and our teammate. And now we're going around the outside of Adrian Suttle, very aggressive there onto the grass, having to go a bit wide there as my car already didn't turn in, but we already had the move done, and we're up to 9th place, already into the points here. This is good by the end of lap 4, going a bit deep into that bus stop chicane, but going on to lap 3, we're already in the points paying positions, and we're coming up to this train up to P1 going just about going up towards Rouge right about now. And we're looking really good at the moment. We have to be in this position to try and at least get a podium, and you know, if Vettel and Alonso are going to be up there in 1 and 2, we have to try and maybe win this race then. And we're coming up on Mark Webber now, getting a really good slipstream through Rouge. Let's see if we can do it using the curves, using the DRS wide open. We're going to wheel here, side-by-side action here with Mark Webber, the Australian, down to the right-hander, down on the end of the Kemmel Straight, and we've overtaken Mark Webber, going fastest sector of the race so far, so looking good at the moment on the prime tyre. So maybe, you know, maybe it's going to be a story of the Silverstone British Grand Prix we saw in real life in the 2014 season. Maybe these prime tyres, the orange wall tyres, are going to work better for me against the medium option tyre. We'll see. Going down the inside of Romain Grosjean now, so easy pickings there down this straight. Looks like the Lotus doesn't have great speed, and so does same as the Red Bull. So if we come up to Sebastian Vettel, and as we come up to Kimi Räikkönen, this may be a place to overtake them, because they both don't really have the straight line speed, using Renault engines obviously, so that Renault engine is not too good in a straight line. So we've easily overtaken Kimi Räikkönen there down the inside, and now we're on the back of Lewis Hamilton. Now this is going to be a bit tough. He's got a Mercedes engine, and it's going to be a bit tough on the straights, but we'll see. We're going left now, right down to the bus stop chicane, going side by side with Lewis Hamilton. We're going to have to give him the room on the inside, because he's still very much there. He pokes his nose through, going side by side. This is brilliant to watch, side by side action down the pit straight. Can we maybe make the move? Got DRS open, but that Mercedes engine just too powerful for us. Down to the first corner, he's still sticking around the inside. I'm going to go very cut to the inside, going to keep the room on the outside. We're still side by side with Lewis Hamilton in his Mercedes. So there's great battle. He's still there. You can see his front wing. You can see the proximity arrow up towards Rouge. Who's going to blink first? Looks like it's going to be Hamilton. He just lets me through, but he's got a good undercut. And now onto the Kemmel Straight. He's going to try and overtake me, maybe. But we do have our curves. He's got DRS open, though, so he's going to get some lovely slipstream there. And great straight line speed side by side. Still down to this right-hander, braking very hard. Still side by side. But we're just going to have to squeeze Hamilton off, and we have made the move done up to 5th place. But wow, what a battle there. Basically went on for half the lap there with Lewis Hamilton, but we finally made it through for P5. Great respect to him for keeping it side by side. The AI are not usually able to do that, but he did give me a challenge, so fair enough to him. So we're up to 5th place now, and we're chasing off the Jenson Button in 4th place in the Mclaren. Probably shouldn't be up here, but he's made a good start. Now we're going to try and overtake him and see into this next sector. He's obviously got a Mercedes engine as well, but we've got a brilliant traction around there. Can we go around the outside? Yes, we can, using the curves off the corner, and we've overtaken him easily for 4th place there. Got some brilliant traction on that left-hander in 4th gear. So now we're chasing off to Fernando Alonso. He is in 3rd place, and we're going to want to overtake him straight away as fast as we can, cutting to lap 12. Here we go, up Rouge, got half a bar of curves, going to use it straight after Rouge, and here we go on Fernando Alonso. Can we power past him, that Ferrari engine? And yeah, there we go, we've completely blitzed him with DRS and all our curves. Fernando Alonso, no match for my Williams there in a straight line. Got really good wing settings and gear ratios there, obviously, to try and overtake him. We set the fastest sector of the Grand Prix yet again by over in a second, and now we've just got to chase after Sebastian Vettel in 2nd place. Remember, we're making our pit stop on lap 17, so if we can overtake him before the pit stop, that'll be amazing. But we're coming down to the bus stop chicane, just coming through now, but it looks like Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg are in the pits, so we're going to have to we're obviously going to overtake them, but they're making their pit stop now. So we've got a pit on our recommended pit stop time is lap 17. We'll see about that. I have a feeling we might have to cut it 1 lap shorter to lap 16. So here we go on to lap 16. Indeed, we are going to cut it shorter into the pits now. And we're in 1st place. Nico Rosberg is 2nd. Vettel for 3rd. So that's pretty good for our championship at the moment if Rosberg is going to be winning this race. But obviously, we're right there. We're in 3rd place, a net 3rd place. So hopefully we can try and overtake Vettel and maybe Rosberg. We'll see what the gap is. But onto the option tyres now. We're going to do a 12-lap option stint here on the medium wall tyres, and we're coming out in 3rd place. But Sebastian Vettel is just there. You can see him in the corner of our screen. There you go. Sebastian Vettel is right there for the taking. So now we're going to push hard to try and overtake Sebastian Vettel, and we've caught up to him the next lap on lap 17 down in this last sector towards the bus stop chicane. Can we make a move on the German world champion, 4-time world champion? Can we overtake him? Let's see, down the inside. It's going to be a pretty easy move actually, because the Red Bull, as I said before in the beginning of this episode, is very low on power on the straights, as is the Lotus. So it's a pretty easy move there down to the bus stop chicane. But now here's the tricky bit, trying to overtake Nico Rosberg, because he is some way ahead of us, so we're going to really have to push hard now. and we're cutting all the way to lap 28. So nearly more than 10 laps time. We've finally caught up to Nico Rosberg. He's 3 seconds ahead of us, but we're now going to make our pit stop crucially. He's going to continue on. We're going to make our pit stop now. There he is. Just saw him on the left of our screen. He's kept on going on. We brought it down to 3 seconds the gap. Now we're making our pit stop for a second batch of prime tyres. That will see us through to the end. So let's go. Let's hope this pit stop is good. We're 3 seconds behind Rosberg. We can try and get an undercut. Hopefully we can maybe overtake him or be right there. But oh god, no. My teammate holds me up. So unlucky, bad timing complete. What a coincidence that he has to pit the same lap as me, and we've got a 5-second pit stop because also I think there was a Toro Rosso holding me up as well. So that has worked out horribly. We've got to really push now to try and at least not even lose time to Felipe Massa, who's ahead of us in second place, and then Rosberg in first. So now we're on to lap 30, and we can see that Nico Rosberg is making his pit stop. Felipe Massa is also making his pit stop, I think. And so let's see how much time we've gained. We had that 5-second pit stop, so 2 seconds slower than the usual pit stop, but we've also been on these fresh primes. So let's see what time we've made up. Coming down to the first corner now, La Source, and coming through, and there's Nico Rosberg. So he's a few seconds ahead of us, so we're going to have to really push on to try and overtake him, the German in first place, stopping us from getting that 25 points gap to Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel, depending on where they finish. Obviously, if they're in the points, they'll be a bit less than 25 points, but we can worry about that at the end. Here we go. Nico Rosberg getting a brilliant slipstream, a nice tow from the Mercedes car. Can we make a move down to the inside of the bus stop chicane? Maybe, just about. He's going to leave us the room. We're going to try the switchback, but it doesn't work as we've gone over the curb, nearly lost the car. So we're going to have to keep on pushing now. It would have worked if I didn't go over the curb. I just kind of was too eager to make the switchback. Maybe should have waited a tiny bit more before turning left, and I wouldn't have hit the curb there. But we're still on the back of Nico Rosberg. We've got a whole bar of curves. We're going to use about half of it up towards Eau Rouge, and then half of it just as we come out of Eau Rouge gives us the best acceleration onto the Kemmel Straight, and we should have DRS. I think it looks like we're within a second, definitely within a second now, so we should have the DRS here. Here we go. Yeah, there we go, opening our rear flap. And here we go, getting a brilliant slipstream on the German of Nico Rosberg. Can we make a move? Yes, we are. We're going to storm past him. And we're down to this right-hander. And easy does it into first place there from Nico Rosberg. But cutting on to the next lap now, up to Rouge. And Nico Rosberg is right there with us. And we're coming up to Eau Rouge now. We've got a half bar of curves left. And you can see the proximity arrow coming at us very rapidly. Nico Rosberg using his curves, obviously, and now DRS. And it looks like he might have us. Yes, he does. He's opened his DRS and he's completely mugged us there. We're going to have to try and re-overtake him now into the next few laps. Let's see where we can get him. We're going to keep up with him. We've gained massively through that left-hander there. Let's try and keep this gap to him. And now onto this last sector, down to the bus stop chicane. Let's try and make another move. We're slipstreaming Nico Rosberg here. Going to maybe try around the outside. He squeezes us a tiny bit. We have to let off the throttle a tiny bit. Now down to the bus stop chicane. We've overtaken him even before the braking zone starts. And we've made the move stick now into first place. And now we've cut onto lap 39. As you can see, it is pretty damn dark from the previous lap, and you can see it's spitting with rain. It is starting to rain here at Spa-Francorchamps, and this could end it because we've got 5 laps to go. But the thing is, if it starts raining enough, we have to switch onto the inters. We don't want to have to make a mistake. And now going to lap 41, as you can see, my tyres are pretty damn cold. It is time to go onto the intermediate tyres. I feel on this lap, as you can see, getting a lot of understeer into these corners. The tyres are completely gone cold. It is time to pit for inters. Hopefully, we do not muck it up going towards that pit stop for inters. And now we've cut onto lap 43. We have made our pit stop for intermediates, and we are surely through. We've got 2 laps left, this lap and then the next one left. But as we're coming through this next few corners towards Puma, Massa has got about a 14-second gap. We've got a 14-second gap to him. The tyres are starting to go a bit cold, so it's still chucking it down, so it may be even time to go to the wet tyres. I'm not too sure. We've got 1 lap left. We're going to have to risk it for a biscuit. We're on to lap 44 here, and the tyres are absolutely gone. Look at those blue tyres, absolutely stone cold. It is basically wet weather tyre conditions, but all of us are on the intermediate tyres. But as we go to the left-hander, we just can't turn into the gravel. This is a disaster. We have to keep on going. Hopefully Massa is not going to come up on us. We've got enough of a gap, hopefully. So we're going to come through now. We're going to very gingerly apply the throttle there. You can see I'm not even going a quarter on the throttle out of some of these slow corners. Down to the bus stop chicane now. Let's take it very easy, nice and calm, through the bus stop chicane, and we're going to come through hopefully for first place. Just going to squeeze the throttle a tiny bit there, going halfway, and now we're going to make our way towards the finish line very slowly indeed. But we have got first place, and this is such a sweet win. Great race, lots of overtakes at the start, and this is a bit of a crazy way to end it. We nearly lost it at the end because, you know, may not look like it, that spin in the gravel, if that went any further and I lost my front wing or spun again, that could have been very, very nasty for my championship. So we've won the race. Sebastian Vettel's coming home in second, so it looks like Vettel overtook Massa in the last corner of the last lap, but Fernando Alonso has retired from the race. I don't know what happened to him. After I overtook him, Massa overtook him, and then I think he must have crashed with an AI or something like that. But that means we've got 25 points in the bag over Alonso, and we've got 7 points on Sebastian Vettel, because Vettel obviously got second and got 18 points on us. So here we're going to look at the Drivers' Championship here, and we've got Sebastian Vettel leading the way now for Red Bull Racing. Fernando Alonso is still in second, but look how much we've closed on those two. We've overtaken Lewis Hamilton, re-overtaken him in the championship, and we are very close to that #1 spot. And with this win, it's going to be a lot easier. If we keep consistent, podiums at least, we can do this. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this episode. Lots of overtakes and a lot of action at the end with that rain, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Do give it a like if you did. Comment below on what you thought of the race. Subscribe if you're new for weekly F1 content with F1 2014 news coming up in the next few weeks and more of this career mode. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I've been over, and I will see you guys next time.